Hi, today is October 22nd, 2025, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1639 for the year, The Experience. And I was like, whoa. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what in the fuck is happening? And the sidewalk was buckling, and the buildings were melting, and the posts were wiggly, and the plants were blurry, and everything was slurry. And I thought I might be buried in hallucination, or that I might be lifted up out of my finite consciousness into something so high I would never again be able to return to the ground of all being. And if I was unable to return to the ground of all being, I wondered whether that might mean that I would no longer be. And then I wondered whether I even was, even now, or if I had ever been. Eventually, the effect wore off, and everything looked as it should. But now that I know that the effects aren't permanent and that they weren't drug-induced, I wouldn't mind if I experienced the experience that I experienced again sometime. Poem number 1640, Where They Are. Coming out of it and getting into it aren't as good as being in it, but one must meet people, including one's self, where they are. Whether they or you are in it, or getting into it, or coming out of it, one must meet people where they are. Poem number 1641, All the Other. Sometimes you make me feel like I'm all the other Dexy's Midnight Runners songs, like all the songs that no one wants to hear when Dexy's Midnight Runners are playing a show and they're not playing Come On Eileen. But then sometimes you make me feel like I'm Come On Eileen, and that is so nice. It's so nice when you make me feel like I'm Come On Eileen, that it more than makes up for those times when you make me feel like I'm all the other Dexy's Midnight Runners songs. Poem number 1642, The Arrogance of the Muffins. He had had it with the arrogance of the muffins, always trying to make you feel stupid, always acting holier than thou, always asserting that they had the best political opinions, always insisting that they had the only logical approach to everything. They were muffins, for fuck's sake. What made them think they knew better? He thought it was a bunch of bullshit. He thought the muffins should come down off their high horses and take a few steps back. Why were the muffins even riding horses? It was fucking ridiculous. Next thing, they'll be driving or flying airplanes. He promised himself he would never get on an airplane that was being piloted by a muffin because they were too fucking arrogant. You can't teach them a goddamn thing. Fuck the muffins, he would say to anyone who would listen. Fuck them in their warm, freshly baked center. And the ironic thing was he had fucked more muffins than just about anyone. He hated how arrogant they were, but he just couldn't quit them. And last poem of the day, poem number 1643, Meanwhile, the Muffins felt sorry for that guy. They sat on their high horses, and for the record, they were very skilled riders. And they would tisk, 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 and shake their heads, and not even attempt to disguise the pity they had for him. He was foolish and pathetic, and his view of the Muffins was hopelessly compromised by ignorance and prejudice and a scandalously narrow worldview. And it wasn't like he was a boonie from the sticks. He was cosmopolitan and well-traveled, and he really ought to know better. But when it came to the Muffins, there was just no reasoning with him, which was why no one tried to reason with him when it came to the Muffins. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.